there's these statues, and then you got to follow them because it takes you somewhere. I'm like, all right, cool. So I start doing this so-called side mission to do that thing, and I'm going in circles. I didn't realize it. I'm like, wait a minute, this place is lit up. Wait a minute. This is my place that I lit up. No way. No bad grades for Tears of the Kingdom at all. I don't think so.
Would you say that this is an elevated version of Breath of the Wild? Is it better?
Yeah.
All the way around?
Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I honestly think Fern Gully was the premise for Avatar. It's literally the same shit.
Really?
Literally the same shit.
And
And
what-
Robin Williams is in it.
Oh, shit.
It's an animated cartoon. It's awesome. It's
Got
so
it.
legit. It's just about saving the rainforest. And I'm like, that's fucking Avatar, dude. When I saw Avatar, I'm like, this is fucking Fern Gully, dude. I did read the thing. I got in. I logged in to Apple.
Oh, yeah, you can access it?
I had one. I had one. I used to have, what are they called? iTunes.
Back in the day.
Everyone just uses Spotify now, but back in the day, I had iTunes, you know?
I had
need the
iTunes
account.
too, and I bought songs on there. So every time I go into a car and I put in my phone, it goes straight to my Apple Music and plays the first song there. So it always takes me back to like 2007.
Dang.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Dang.
Why does it
Alphabetical?
just... Yeah,
Like the
alphabetical.
first A
so
word?
it's the same song every time. And I use Spotify now. Like I switched to Spotify probably like 3 years ago because of the playlists. They're just it's just much better to keep track of music.
iTunes has playlists
No. Well, I mean, it does, but it's just...
that you can create.
The UI sucks for Apple Music. That's the only thing that they have to update.
Yeah.
Speaking of Apple, did you see Apple Vision?
Yeah.
Imagine,
$3,000, yo.
imagine Zelda on that shit.
That's downtown high-rise glass apartment,
Yes.
one studio, not a one bedroom rent for like one of those.
I was telling Bella, I don't think I've ever made a single purchase that it's that expensive.
That's a lot.
My
dude.
PC was like
Yeah, what's a PC?
2,500. So still like
$2,500.
like 1,000 less. Bro, that shit's like buying a used car.
Dude, yo. This better like take me to Taco Bell.
But although it's expensive, I think I'm still down.
Wow. Rental.
I'll
if they can rent it out,
yeah,
I'm down.
or 48 months, no interest. That's not bad. That's like $50 a month, maybe.
A lease.
That's basically what
Can
it
I get
is.
a lease on this
Imagine how crazy games
game
on.
software, the hardware? Imagine.
Imagine the games on that. The experience.
You know what?
The
In
immersion.
Peru, though, I'm Peruvian, so like in Peru, they used to. I don't know if they still do. You can rent out systems. If you didn't have the money to buy, you can just go to a game. Like there would be like here we have bodegas, and they have a lot of them there too. But they used to have maybe they still do like those cafes, those like internet cafes. But they would have gaming cafes.
Yeah.
And you can go in there. You could pay a couple dollars.
Oh, yeah, they had
You
one
could
near
play
my
all
house.
the games that you wanted. But if you really wanted that Xbox, you could be like, hey, here's $10. I'll come back next week and drop it off.
Yeah,
That was it. It was crazy. What a concept.
that's dope.
Imagine that with those guys. Like that I would do. Because you're not...
They might.
Do you use VR like that?
But the thing is,
that?
if you're thinking about it, someone else is considering it.
I hope so.
Like, how many people are actually going to be able to access something that's this incredible? Businesses are going to start opening up. GameStop's going to start partnering with, all right, maybe they do it. They do the rentals. Why not? It brings people closer to gaming.
does GameStop still do where you can go into the store and play the games?
Yes, I was in GameStop last week. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you this.
Oh, shit.
Because this is why I was in GameStop last week, but I've told you about this. And I wanted you to see it in person.
See it.
So I got the collector's edition
I don't even know
Nintendo
if I-
Switch.
Can
Touch
I?
it.
Am
The
I
Zelda
allowed to?
version.
Wow.
I had to, bro. I had to.
Hold on. This is nice, dude. Man,
Open it up.
Smudge marks everywhere.
Yeah, I have to. I bought a screen
Why is your
protector.
nose print on this screen, dude? Were you like...
Shut the fuck up. I bought a screen protector, but I'm so bad at putting them on that I fucked it up. Just wasted $15.
You got a software update.
Damn.
Dude, this looks crazy, though.
It's beautiful, man.
Ooh, and you can actually, like...
So the screen, I think, is a little
Oh, it
over
matches
an inch and a half bigger.
matches the pillows here.
I don't know
Let's
about
go.
that.
Wow. It's so vibrant. I'm just on the menu.
It's so
screen.
vibrant. Open up the game.
Well, it can't. It's giving me like checking for software, like, and you're not connected to the Wi-Fi here.
What the fuck is it checking for
You talk to
software?
me.
No,
This is your system, man. You tell me.
it's fucking up. I'll
So
show it
you
to
know
you
what
later.
I know.
I'll show it to you later.
Yeah,
But what you
yeah.
need to know is that it looks incredible, and
Let me see the back. Let me see the back. Oh man, I love that it's black. I thought this was white. That's cool.
I think
Because
the regular
I have-
Switch OLED is all white.
The Joy-Cons, I have, I don't know if you've seen it. I have the 64
Yes.
purple clear
Yes.
Joy-Cons.
Yeah, you're showing them to me. They're
Which
amazing.
they're starting to drift.
Fuck.
Yep.
That's the worst thing
Sucks.
about Switches, man.
Sucks. Like I'm playing Zelda and I'm like, grabbing something and then like the camera's going 360 and I'm like, no, I want the Koroxy.
I had 4 Switch Joy-Cons. All of them have drift. All of them. None of them have lasted more than like 6 months.
Okay, here's the other part of the question. Can you does it bother you in a Mario Party game?
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's
Mario
many
Party, like,
there's
it's
many
like the
games
most-
where direction matters and things
Okay.
like that. 2 of my PS5 controllers have drift now too. I mean, maybe it just shows you how much I play.
Yeah, you might
Not
be
the
an aggressive
quality,
player,
but
dude.
yeah, especially
Get a little
if I'm playing a
Q-tip in there,
competitive
you know? Maybe
game.
it's just dust build up. Back in the day, it used to be dust build up. People
Ah.
would like push in their the I guess they were called joys
Analog sticks.
analog sticks, and even then you didn't have the like a PS2 didn't have the option to do anything when you press the sticks down. But some friends, whenever I pushed it down, I'm like, bro, that is gunk. Like
Nah,
you
yeah.
cook with this,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just oil stain, layers of grease.
I take care of my controllers.
Okay.
I think I am pretty aggressive. I push it down pretty hard. And if I get
I
angry,
saw you
bro,
play
I'll
Survivor.
squeeze
I
the
saw you
shit
play
out of it.
Survivor. Dude, you became the dark side in real life. I'm like, there's no such thing as that.
Listen, none of that is me playing up the game
That's
or playing
just-
up my reaction. That's how I am. Like, I really try and be just exactly who I am on streams.
So that's why
and
you
if
play
I was,
Zelda, though, right? Like Zelda.
yeah, it calms me.
Yeah,
It keeps me chill.
yeah.
But there's still things in Zelda that piss me off. Just like I've been thinking about
Trust
what I
me.
wanted to tell you as far as some of the critiques that I have
Mm-hmm.
for Tears of the Kingdom, and some of them are just like I still think some of the control designs are weird.
Oh, 100%.
Like when you have to
100%.
select your shield, it takes out your bow, but then if you're not
100%.
holding the bow, then you can't do it, and then that whole menu system, and I just don't enjoy it. It's
I
not
memorized
easy.
in Tears not to whistle, like in Breath of the Wild. So Breath of the Wild, I'm always like, pew, pew, pew. I'm like sneaking up on like a group of dudes, and then they like no, and then I don't know, spoiler, but you may or may not have this.
What-
There's a you cool with spoilers?
It depends. Is it story?
No, it's just
No,
like
that should be fine.
grabbing like a shield or
That should be fine, yeah.
like a mask or some shit. You can get a is it a Sheikah? Like I think it might have been not a Sheikah, but like those futuristic things.
The Zonai?
The Zonai. No, this is for Breath of the Wild, but you
Oh,
can get
oh, oh.
for your horse. You can get this saddle that it can transport the horse to you.
You were fucking telling me that.
It's so and then the horse shows up. So my thing used to be because I would forget that was the button to whistle. Because I'm like, I'm quick shield. I need a shield. Like, let's select real quick. And I didn't want to go to the menu screen. I'd hit that button accidentally. Horse teleports in the middle of combat. And I'm like, no, I don't want my horse to die.
But the game shouldn't even allow you to be able to do something like that in the middle of combat. Because
that's the
same thing
point.
happens to me. I
Yeah.
have my sword out. I want to take out my shield. I start fucking whistling. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Have you discovered that same thing in Tears of the
So
Kingdom?
for this one, I keep hitting the wrong buttons, thinking, I'm selecting, the hand, or I'm selecting.
No, but have you found the horse thing
Which horse thing?
where you get the
I have
item where
not.
you can?
I am. So you asked me before we did this to play at least to one of the main quests.
Yeah,
right.
right.
So I got one. I
Which
went
one
to
did you
Rito,
choose?
and
Rito.
that was sick. Such a sick. I love aerial stuff.
Yeah.
And I only glimpsed at how you played in Death Mountain.
Yeah.
But and it was a little bit of flying, right? It seemed like it. And the other one was like just gliding, dropping, arrow, slow-mo, 666.
Damn.
And even getting to the boss.
Yeah.
Insanity.
Really?
The music took me
Really?
places,
I would
man.
say right now Goron City hasn't been that fantastic.
Really?
The best part of it has been falling into the depths.
Ah.
And that's my first experience with the depths. Well, actually, that's a lie. I was playing it off recording, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I was just exploring around Hyrule. And I was like, what the hell is that hole in the ground? And jumped down. And I was like, why is it so dark? And then I started to see it, and I just hit my switch button, went to the home screen, quit out the game. I was like, I can't see it. I can't see it. I'm not recording. I don't know what happened. So then when I went to Goron City, it's part of the mission to go into the depths.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, now I get to actually see it, for real this time. And it's been okay. The music's been really fun. Discovering the Fire Temple. We won't talk about spoilers, but just being down there and knowing that there's another layer to the map. Because I mentioned this in my last video. Did anyone expect for you to be able to go underneath? We heard about the Sky Islands. We heard about the regular, field of play that existed in Breath of the Wild. Did anyone expect to go underneath?
The trailer was, to this day, the trailer still plays in my head.
Right.
And whenever I see certain things, it triggers a memory of the trailer and how epic it was. Mm-hmm. And so, like, going down to the depths, like, have you done that yet? Have you gone to Sky Islands and just went, fuck it, I'm going straight down?
Once.
Awesome.
Amazing.
What a vibe. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
It's crazy. There's so much to explore. And even in the beginning of the game, because we did our first couch gaming episode together when we experienced the first, 3 hours of Tears of the Kingdom. When we started the game, we were with Zelda in the caves already, down in the depths, essentially.
Yeah.
And not for a second was like, oh, we'll probably come back here. Or there's an entire world down here that we're going to be able to explore.
Yeah.
So that's probably been my favorite new addition to this game.
So I got to play the game again on my own. And so I got to see that whole intro scene. And I remember when you played the game, I was like, yo, but like, she's analyzing the murals or whatever. And then on the right, there's these rocks. And now I've been playing so long that those same rocks, I'm like, oh, you can blow those up. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get to that point at some point in the game. At least I haven't yet, but...
Yeah, I don't want to spoil you, but there's
for
something that helps you, like, destroy those. I don't know if you've seen.
The bombs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the arrows and the bombs.
No, there's something else. I don't want to spoil you, but there's something else, too. But yeah, the depths have been amazing. What has, like, stood out for you in comparison to Breath of the Wild? We've said in the couch gaming episode, you put in how many hours? 500 hours into Breath of the Wild?
I probably got like 30 hours now in this one, and
Nice.
I've only done that one thing because I'm only getting Korok seeds.
Yeah.
I'm getting my shield. I'm building up my shield inventory, building up my sword inventory. The weapons inventory, arrow. I need those.
I've been doing the same.
But yeah, the thing that stood out to me is for sure these new abilities, good and bad.
Yeah.
Because I do miss having just a bomb and throwing it out, just for the sake of like, my weapons just shatter mid-fight.
True.
I have only 4 in the beginning or something. What do I do? If I had a bomb ready to go, I'd always have a type of weapon that I can just throw from a distance and then run away.
Have you been using just the throw mechanic at all? Where you go to throw your weapon and then you can switch your weapon for an item? So like the bombs you collect, right? The bomb plants?
Yep.
You know how you can add it to your arrow?
Yep.
You can also press the throw button, like you're going to throw your sword, hold it, and go down to the menu, and then you can change it to any item that you can throw. So basically, you can pick like one of like the fire jelly things, and you can toss that, and that's like an explosion, or the bomb plant.
Now, does your weapon blow up though with the thing that you attached it to?
No. So if you switch out to the menu, you're not throwing your weapon at all.
Oh, you're just throwing the
anything that you want in the items.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I've started to do that, but the simplicity of having the bomb, I think I missed that too. And I've been seeing crazy videos of what people have been doing with these abilities, man. Yeah. All over TikTok, everywhere. It's nuts, man. I've seen someone make a fucking Gundam. I've seen someone make the same bus from Fortnite that you go into the world with where it drops you off. Literally, like with the fucking thing and flying through the map. It's
I've
fucking
seen
crazy.
The cool thing that I've seen, it's so demonic for the game that shouldn't be like that. And it really makes you question people's fucking moralities, man. Is grabbing the Koroks or whatever and just like torturing. And this morning, I actually, dude, it took me 20 to 30 minutes to build. I find this little Korok guy like just on his giant camp bag and just like, help me, my friend's over there. And I'm like, oh man. And I see like two, like compounds with all these little goblins just chilling. And I'm like, no, I don't want to tech this guy through here. So, but I see my surroundings. I'm like, oh, cool. There's a cart. There's wheels. There's a cart. Grab the cart. There's wood. Cool. And then there's this thing that bounces, right? And I've been using that on my shield, or I'll throw it on the ground. I'll do like a little Mario hop or whatever. It's really sweet. So I go like, oh, this is such a cool thing I can kind of try to invent. And so that's really fun. Inventing things, like just on the fly, just making something happen. So I make this thing, a platform with the cart, put the guy on it. I put the little lunger thing behind us, and then I'm sitting on there with this guy, and I go, boom, I hit the thing. So like the whole mechanics begin, right?
Yeah.
Shoots us. What I didn't put into my calculation, wait. This thing goes, and it shoots the Korok, not me, because I wasn't really on the corner of it. I was like off of it, I guess, and I just like hop off. And this guy goes straight into the lake, and I'm like, no, I just drowned him. He's like, I'm just gone. And I'm like, so I just had to put a placemaker, like, I hope he comes back. I'm like, Korok seed, I'm gonna keep going. My bad.
I don't do that enough.
Never here.
I gotta place those markers. Dude, I've seen torture chamber videos.
Crazy.
Fucking crazy.
Crazy.
I did not expect with new abilities.
The cooking of the Korok guy. Like, what do you do? Where do you get these flamethrowers to cook these guys? And they're saying ow. That's the cool thing. They actually, like, I don't know if you grabbed an ability, like grabbed like a stone or something, and then it's hovering over somebody. They're like, whoa. Yeah. Like they actually show
No, I haven't done that.
Bubble icon.
I've only taken maybe one of them. And I just made like a carriage. Okay. And then I got the attachment that you can get at the stable for your horse. And just did that and put them in. Just so I haven't even.
You on a journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Red Dead that shit.
That's how it felt, exactly. Those guys have been cool. And I also like the guys that you can do the little signs with, like helping to keep up the signs.
That dude.
Because I like the rewards.
Oh, he gives you so much.
Yo, how many times is this person going to lock their fucking car? It's locked! Jesus. If you didn't hear, someone just pressed the lock button on their car like 9 times in a row. Are you sure? Am I sure? I sure?
I forgot. It's a retirement center around here, by the way.
Oh, shit.
He might have, Alzheimer's.
Fuck. It would be me to say that. And then they have fucking Alzheimer's. Jesus. No, I just think they're blasted.
Too early, man.
But I was going to say, the sign guys, like helping them keep the signs up.
Yeah, Hudson, I think.
Yes. Those have been cool because of the rewards.
Yep.
Like he gives you a plate of food, he gives you rupees, he gives you
another food.
Sometimes an item or something like that. Yeah. That's been really fun to do. Because it feels more, I feel like my strategy for regaining loot has increased in this game. Where maybe it's just something I didn't explore enough in Breath of the Wild, but actually remembering, okay, anytime I run out of bows, I'm going to go to this place. And I've been going up to the castle, by the way.
Just nonstop? You keep running out of bows?
Every time I need a bow, I go up there and get the soldier bow. It's 28.
Wild.
And I never get a 28 anywhere else. So now I just go there every time.
Oh, that's legit.
Anytime I need...
Okay, I thought you just like needed it. Like,
no.
I don't have any more bows.
When I need one, if I go out into like the field and I fight just those random mobs, they're 4s and 2s. I'm like, it's fucking 5 arrows.
Like, that's it. Done.
It's shit.
Yeah.
So I have that, and then I'll go to all of the stables to buy certain like items for elixirs, because that guy with his backpack and all that stuff.
Beetle.
Yep. And then I'll go to the towns for arrows and stuff like that.
I haven't been to towns.
I have only been to one. Well, it's technically it's the one that you start with, where the first tower is. Yep. You just go out into the exterior, and there's like a little shop.
Rito is a town. What the hell am I talking about? My bad.
Oh, I guess Goron City too. Goron City too for me. Yeah. So that's the only place you've explored?
Yeah, I'm in the depths, like, oh my god. The depths is wild. The music is wild.
Wild.
The vibe is crazy. I love throwing. It's forcing me to throw arrows with the little lights everywhere.
Yes,
which
I
is so
love
much
doing
fun.
that, by the way. I
It's
love
exploring, dude.
Yeah.
It's the concept of exploring. And so I was on it last week, and I'm playing it, and then I go, oh, like, I don't know if you might have seen this, because you have to get your Puripad, you have to get it to show you how to use the map and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it can tell you how to use the camera.
Yeah, I
all that
haven't.
Stuff.
I don't have the camera
You haven't
ability
done the
yet.
camera.
No.
Okay. Well, there's a mission for that.
Yeah,
And
I knew it was coming.
Not the biggest spoiler. It's a tedious task, but it's like there's these statues, and then you got to follow them because it takes you somewhere. I'm like, all right, cool. So I start doing this so-called side mission to do that thing. Completely oblivious because I don't know how to how to get a map located on this thing yet.
Yeah.
And I'm going in circles. I didn't realize it. I'm like, wait a minute, this place is lit up. Wait a minute. This is my place that I lit up. No way. I got so angry.
Yeah.
But no, the depths is wild.
The first thing that I did with the depths after I got to the fire temple and I wasn't like recording anymore and I was just chilling on my couch is I just went to all the shrines down there to like open up the map because one, it's so dark, and then like you said, if you light it up, sometimes you can forget like where you are and stuff like that.
Yep.
And that's just helped so much. So I've been spending most of my time just getting on those. They're not called shrines; they're called something else.
Yeah, they're called something else. That's right. Yeah.
I
They
don't
feel
remember
like
their name.
Like a tree, like a root.
Yeah, they're basically shrines.
If anybody's my age, like Fern Gully, it feels very Fern Gully-esque.
What the hell's that?
It's dude. Actually, if you like Avatar at all,
The show or the movie?
the movie,
Okay.
the movies, watch Fern Gully now. I guess 'cause
Okay.
there's 2 Avatar movies now.
Yeah.
I honestly think Fern Gully was the premise for Avatar. It's literally the same shit.
Really?
Literally the same shit.
And
And
what-
Robin Williams is in it.
Oh,
It's an animated cartoon. It's awesome. It's
Got
so
it.
legit. It's just about saving the rainforest. And I'm like, that's fucking Avatar, dude. When I saw Avatar, I'm like, this is fucking Fern Gully, dude.
I mean, it's not an idea that hasn't been replicated many times.
But the tree thing, or the root thing, I guess,
okay.
that's where I'm like, oh, this is some Fern Gully-esque shit. Like, you're talking to a fucking tree
Right.
that's like, light me up. And it's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You
Right.
know, it's crazy.
Now, I don't know what else there is as far as the depths, the Sky Islands, and the mainland. I haven't seen anything else. I'm not aware of it. It could happen later in the game, but if this is it, and thinking about how far they've come from Breath of the Wild, do you think that they would take a sequel and go to the next level as far as...
I mean, the thing with Zelda, you got to look at all the other games of Zelda, and it's fine. Like the 8-bit kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
they kind of looked the same because you're stuck. We're limited to the graphics. But the GameCube, you know, like
Yeah.
which one was that one called? The Wind
Wind Waker?
Waker.
Yeah.
Like that's a vibe on its own. It didn't get the love that it needed. Now you look at it now, you're like, that was such a beautiful visual that they used for that. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, kind of similar. Twilight Princess. More
So artistically, you
this
think
looks
they're
like
gonna-
Prince of Persia? Like Link looks legit, real armor. He doesn't look cartoony. And I did see a video on like the masses really wanting Zelda to be more adult, kind of looking like more realistic, but the creators were like, that's not really the vibe that we're going for, and so they were kind of Nintendo forced them to create a video with like live actors playing like Link and whatever, and so they were like, yeah, and then people were like, whatever con it was back in those days, and the 90s were like, yes, they were so hyped, and then they get Wind Waker, and they're like, what is this? Like, this is such a cartoon. And then they make Twilight Princess. And then everybody goes like, yes, we finally got it. And it's going to be tough because this is kind of the same element. It's like open world, very realistic, beautiful visuals, right? It's not like, what's the open world Japanese samurai game? Something of
Open world.
Tsushima or so.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Haven't played it. It's on my list. I hear it's
I
incredible.
haven't seen gameplay, but I've seen clips, and I'm just like, yo, those shots, gorgeous.
Oh.
That's its own thing. And if that were to come into Zelda, like
You think
that'd
if
be
Zelda
crazy.
looked like that?
That'd be crazy.
Holy shit.
Or Or
But
just
on
go,
Nintendo,
it's gonna be hard to go
Nintendo's
backwards.
not gonna do that.
It's gonna be It's gonna be hard to do. Like, here's another 8-bit Zelda. Like, oh, what? Like that
Yeah,
big-headed Zelda Link. You know, like
they
walking
could go
around,
back
like-
to animated version, but you're right. I don't think they'll keep moving forward with this though,
Yeah, I
because
think
there
it's
are
done.
moments in Tears of the Kingdom where I'm very happy with the game. Right, I am enjoying it very much. I love the new abilities. I love the depths. The Sky Islands are okay. Don't really spend that much time up
Ooh,
there.
You're missing out.
Yeah, I gotta explore more.
Ooh, I love it. I love it up there.
I go up there sometimes for loot, but
Yeah.
I haven't spent too much time up there. But there are moments in this game where it does feel a little bit repetitive.
Yep.
Kind of, it kind of should be Breath of the Wild too.
Yep.
And
Is it?
It's not.
By the way,
I think it is.
we'll come back to that question, but keep
The-
going. I mean,
I don't want to take away from how great the game is,
Yeah.
but it is kind of the same game.
I don't think it's Breath of the Wild 2.
No,
It's not the
really.
story, at least.
No, maybe not that, but considering everything else,
Yeah, it's like fine print.
'cause
Fine print.
I see
Breath
what
of the
you're
Wild
trying to
2.
say. I
I
see
mean,
what
it's
you're
kind of
trying
like
to say.
the Nolan movies for Batman. You know, that is the world that he created, but each movie is different. But it is the world still.
Right.
So this is, the thing is though, those Nolan movies, right? It's a trilogy, so it is the character is developed.
Yeah.
There is no development in character. It's the same exact fucking character, but the story has nothing to do with Breath of the Wild. That's why it's Tears of the Kingdom, and it's only Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's just using the same mechanics.
Yeah, but you're getting that
Majora's
same
Mask
feeling, right?
With Ocarina of Time. Literally the same mechanics.
It's true.
Same
It's true.
visuals.
It's a good fucking point.
Completely different story.
It's a good fucking point.
It's interesting. I came across just wandering. There's like this plaque on the ground, and it goes like, this plaque is for those that were defeated in the calamity.
Oh,
Zelda.
shit.
And I'm like, oh, that's the nod. But as I've been playing the game, I go and question it because I'm like, well, where are the little tentacle guys?
Yeah.
Where are the towers that we used to go up to?
Yeah.
They don't have. They have other towers, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the Pura and her people did.
Right.
Because they keep referencing, it's like, oh, thanks for Pura. She created these towers, these
Mm-hmm.
these lookouts. And I'm like, yeah, but what about the towers? Did we just kind of forget that the shrines came from the ground or
Right.
whatever? Like, we just got this new thing. Like, everybody just kind of forgot about that.
True, if you consider that too, unless this is a prequel, there must have been some time that had passed in order for that to happen and for them to remove all that stuff and for the landscape to change as much
Weird
as it
concept.
has.
Weird. So that's why I'm like, this is its own game. It
Yeah.
has its nods and it's the same visuals, but it's its own game. But you're right. I played 500 hours
But there are
of
moments
Breath of the Wild.
you're
I'm like,
going.
this is Breath of the Wild.
You're playing the same game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
This could have been a DLC.
the Ocarina of Time. Nah, I think DLC's kind of putting it too lightly.
I mean, in the way of like a big story DLC. Like, I mean, like this
Yeah.
is like, because I've been playing Arkham.
Yeah,
And I've downloaded all the DLCs, and there's side stories, like stories.
yeah.
It's
Spider-Man
not-
did that too.
It's not just you can dress up like Robin. It's
How
like, no, you're getting a
satisfying are
story.
they?
I haven't played them yet, but
Oh,
I've
okay.
heard that it's lengthy. You're not just there playing a 20-minute thing, like just fighting a couple goons and just say I'm done.
Yeah,
It's a story, but this is a big DLC of Breath of the Wild where
Right.
it's like, take it somewhere else. It just gives you these really nice abilities that really makes your brain massage into thinking, being curious of like, how do I get to the next stage?
right.
Like, what else can you give to me that really sparks my interest? And it really is. It is sparking interest. So there's no bad grades for Tears of the Kingdom at all. I don't think so.
Would you say that this is an elevated version of Breath of the Wild? Is
Completely.
it better
Yeah.
all the way around?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they've capitalized on everything that I did already enjoy on Breath of the Wild and made it better, and then didn't focus as much as removing things that bothered people and certain like game controls that we've talked about earlier in this episode. But I think they've taken and capitalized on all the things, and it's made for a better game.
Yeah.
Much more enjoyable in certain ways, with the new abilities so fresh and so fun. I haven't really taken the time to be able to get into like the deep customization and building all these crazy things yet because I'm still, learning the mechanics and doing shrines and trying to get up my hearts first. Because I'm thinking like long game, right?
Yeah.
And I know after going through Breath of the Wild, even though I've only done 100 hours or so, I know how important shrines are. Getting hearts early, getting inventory early. Breath of the Wild, I would just go, and then have to keep stopping my momentum to go fucking get arrows, go this shit. I don't have any meals. I didn't do that at all in Breath of the Wild. I never made meals.
That's
in this
crazy.
one, it was like one of the
You're
first
just,
2
eating
days.
like a dozen apples. Like, come on, I got like 20 hearts. Come on.
Yes, I just wouldn't take the time to go find, because that's a new thing.
Yeah.
Now with the Zonai, you can have a pot that's just in your inventory and take out and make a fucking meal. It kind of sucks that you can only do one at a time, but it helps because in moments in Breath of the Wild, I couldn't find somewhere to go cook my food, so I wouldn't take the time to try and go and find those areas.
Right.
So, I've been taking that approach. I think I'm probably just gonna go story-wise, continue, and then get into that part of the game.
I'm scared to go story-wise. I have not really tried. Even when you ask me to, I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, I'm remembering what I did in Breath of the Wild, which was the same exact concept of exploring, timidness. What am I getting into? I don't have any armor, nothing, and just the exploration is what helps me understand, like, is this twig better than a sword? Or, like, now that I can fuse things together, it gives me a better weapon.
Right.
And I'm just really trying to make sure I understand certain things that the game is going to give me so that when I come across it, I'm 110% like ready to go for it.
Yeah. We're kind of doing the same thing because I've only been partially through the first mission.
Have you seen those giant guys and they have like 8 little...
The block ones?
Goblin guys just behind them, and they all are like ready to throw flowers at you.
Yeah.
And or fire fruit. And I'm just kind of like, oh, like sometimes I'm running in the field. I'm like, oh, nope, going that way.
Yeah, go somewhere
because I'm
else.
like, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight that yet.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean. It's like,
so
Breath
we've
of the
been playing
Wild
the same way.
I was so scared. And sometimes I would just say, screw it, let's go. I got 4 hearts. How bad could this guy be? And it's a stone thing that comes from the ground. I'm like, I got you. And I only have twigs. And I'm like, come on. And then I die.
Yeah.
It's
such a big game where you almost have to do that too. Because you're gonna struggle like a bitch on the missions.
Totally.
And I definitely have learned that too. But it's been tough because I want to progress in the story, but it's just that game. It's that kind of game where you have no choice. It wants you to go through the exploration. It almost forces you to have to do that.
People are talking about referencing or comparing, this game with, what's the other one? Elden Ring.
Yes, very much so.
These are legit, like the same kind of games.
Very similar. I've only put in like 25 hours into Elden Ring, maybe 30. I fell off because it's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And I just don't have the patience when it's that hard. I mean, when I just played Star Wars Survivor, I did play on Jedi Knight, which is technically hard difficulty. But even at the end with the last boss, like after 2 hours of trying, I changed the difficulty because I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So Elden Ring was just so fucking hard, like twice as hard as what I was just playing. And when games are that tough, you fall off. But similar with bosses and looting and different items and elixirs.
Repetitiveness is also a huge turn-off in the game.
Yeah.
This game, I don't know, do you feel like it's repetitive? I mean, it has its moments, but I don't think it's like
I think the style of game...
notch down from it. I think it's fine.
I think the style of game is constructed to be repetitive.
Okay.
It kind of has a rhythm to it that it really wants you to, get deep into how familiar you are with it, and I think survival games are kind of like that. You're always having to look for loot to keep up your health. You're gonna need elixirs to go into this environment. You're gonna have to walk a lot to find loot. It's the style of game. So I mean, if that's not your thing, then you would hate a game like this.
Missions, man.
If you're a side mission, explore, chill, take your time kind of person, this is the game you want.
Yeah, when you were playing Arkham, dude, I sent you the photo.
Yeah.
And you were like, God damn, dude. You're like,
I'm not a side mission guy. I've never been a side mission guy. I'm like all about the story and the narrative.
That's why I stayed in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Because so many side missions, and I get just lost in it. And then you're like, dude, I think you just need to finish the game.
Yeah.
Just finish it, get the story. You're going to get, like, you're 7 years behind now. Like, you really just need to know what happens in the story, and then go back to your world of exploring. And so I'm like, all right, screw it, I'll just do it. And it was awesome. But that's why I was still able to come back. Like, out of all the games that I have on my Switch,
yeah,
that's the one I keep going back to.
Right.
I got FIFA. I got,
But imagine
2K.
how much the story would have impacted you if you didn't stretch it out that long. Because the game is still there once you're done with the story. And I feel like if you space out, it's like, I mentioned this in another video, but it's like my friend Cam.
Okay.
He's been watching Breaking Bad for like the last 5 years. And then when he picks up...
Not finished.
Not finished.
Oh my.
So he'll go, I haven't
kinda...
watched in 6 months. I'll just continue on my season 2, episode 19. I'm like, bro, you don't remember anything.
But is he a
How the
fan?
fuck are you doing
That's the
that?
thing, though.
But that's what you're doing with the story. It's like you're picking up hours
but I'm still playing
later.
it. Like, it's like saying, like, oh, I watched like clips on YouTube or like explanation videos on Breaking Bad. Like, oh, what I don't know if you heard of it, like the color theory, how every season colors kind of mean something different. Like Walter's, he goes from like a yellow and then he starts wearing black at the end. It's like, oh, you never picked that up,
right?
Or like somebody starts wearing this color, it means like they're gonna die,
right?
So there's all these like really weird theories that they have on YouTube. But imagine you're like, I'm only in the 2nd season, and then I'm just gonna watch these YouTube theory videos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, you haven't even finished the movie. You haven't even finished the game, the story yet.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but I like the theory. This theory's gonna ruin it for you, man.
Right.
That's crazy. See, like, I don't know, playing the game.
I get you. There's a balance.
Getting lost in the game is like, I'm still lost in the game. I'm in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning new things in the game, and the story is always there for me to just come back to.
So let me ask you this. Based on your experience with Breath of the Wild and now how you're playing Tears of the Kingdom, do you think that you're going to spend the same amount of time finishing it? Because you did the story spread out between how many years?
I've already started. That's the thing. That's my problem.
So you think in 2 years you'll finish the story?
That's
maybe. Fucking crazy, bro.
I'll be honest, maybe.
You got a 2 years?
Maybe.
You don't care enough to know what the fuck's going on with Zelda?
I do care.
On my first mission, I go to see her, she disappears. Then I keep going on the mission, she disappears.
Yep.
I'm like, I just keep being led on. It would be insane to wait 2 years to find out why that's happening.
By the way, there is a thing, and I don't know, maybe it came up on your end too. I met somebody in the game that goes like, hey, there's like a newspaper.
Yeah.
That you can be, that's a side mission. You could be a journalist.
Yeah. I saw that in the beginning.
Link can be a journalist. Like, nerd. Like,
Take
I
up
love
a
it.
job,
Let's do it. Let's go.
just live in this
Put the
universe
top hat
for 10
on
years.
And the fedora, just, whatever.
Yeah. That's how people play Red Dead, too.
Oh, yeah.
Where the story they just never get to because they go into the fucking play poker inside the bar, which I would do. I would literally just get on Red Dead just to play poker.
Wait, can you play poker in Red Dead? And it's like literally like a poker
You
game?
go up to the bar and then you go into a bar,
Yeah.
then you go to a little table and there's people there playing.
But, like,
and then you
is it-
sit down and then it shows you your cards. It's
Nah,
like
I am older than you.
it's like
but
a poker
there used to be
mini
like
game.
those poker games on the computer, like where it's like, or like even like the billiards games on the computer.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like it has this fake bar lounge that you're in, or the green table, and your cards will just flip over and like there's your cards. Those are the other guys.
It still shows your character. It shows the screen.
But
like
you see your cards.
Yes.
So you're literally playing poker in the game.
The cards and the poker stuff is like part of your HUD. And you're still as your character in the game. So it doesn't like turn the screen into just a mini game where you only see your cards. Like you're still you're at the table playing cards.
Grand Theft Auto,
crazy.
they also had that. I think it was San Andreas. They had a thing where you can go into a place and there would be arcade games, right? And you go in there and you'd be like, "Oh shit, let me play this
For
game."
real?
And it'd be like Pac-Man. But it'd be like whatever. What is it? Rocksteady did it. I think did Rockstar made
GTA.
So
yeah.
they're like, your boy looks at the game and then your monitor changes to the game and now you're just playing Pac-Man. in San Andreas.
That's fucking crazy. I mean,
like,
it's
I'm
been
not
around.
playing the game,
Yeah.
the real game. I'm just playing.
Even in, I haven't played it, but even in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, there's like a mini game that you can play that's part of the Star Wars universe. You know, like when they go in front of the table with the little
Those
characters,
little characters
that fight
fighting each other?
You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do
yeah.
it in
That's
Survivor,
awesome.
and it's like a built-out mini game, which is always that's been cool. I love when games do that.
When they do that, that's like such a nod, and that's cool because that makes you feel too really immersed now. Because like
Yeah.
like now talking about this, it would have been cool if The Last of Us when Ellie goes into the arcade and starts playing the game.
Yeah, if there was
the
electricity.
game actually play well. In
right, the
Wii-
DLC.
Yeah.
That's true.
Then you get to play this fighting game with her.
Yeah, I don't know if I tried. You might have been able to. I don't remember.
That would be wild if they thought.
I don't
of that.
remember. I haven't played the DLC in a few
It's not
years.
like it's that old. That game was much newer than San Andreas, much newer than any of these games that did that before. But maybe they were just like, we don't want to get you out of the story.
Well, do you remember there was another Zelda game? Was it? Oh man, I don't think it was Twilight Princess. Might have been Majora's Mask, but you could like go fishing and do like a fishing mini game.
Yep.
And you could go into like an arrow range or something in Ocarina of Time. You can go in the village and like shoot
That's true.
targets and stuff.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild hasn't done that. I mean, of course they've
have
they've done everything else
They
better.
have a bowling game
In Tears of the Kingdom.
in Breath of the Wild, which I would be shocked if they don't have it in Tears of the Kingdom. But they had a bowling
But it's not
game.
like a bowling alley.
No,
It's like
no,
a
no.
version
You go
of-
into like the snowy zone there, and then there's like this giant hill, and like this lady's at a cabin. She's just like, "Hey, I'll give you like 20 rupees if you can get a full strike."
Yeah, but
You're like,
see,
"All
that's
right."
not the same.
You just keep playing the game.
In
you just
Ocarina
keep
of
giving her
Time, you
money.
could literally just
Oh, there's
go
a gambling
in.
game
Oh, really?
in Breath of the Wild.
But is it just like a side character who's like you talk to and they say, "Hey, do this, and I'll give you this"?
Yeah,
I'm
to
thinking
an
like
extent, yeah.
actual mini game. You know?
People, this is not a spoiler because this game's old now, but there was a trick that you can get all of this guy's money continuously because they apparently have all the money in the world in the game. It's not that real.
Right.
But,
right.
it's a guessing game. Like guess where this thing is. If you get it right, you get like 1,000 rupees or some shit, right? And you're like, all right, cool. And then if you guess it wrong, as long as you saved it before you talk to the person, just cancel out, load back in, and then just be like, select the other one next time. And then it's like, you got it right. And you're like, oh shit. So like it's almost like the interface never changed
Yeah.
the outcome. So you
Yeah.
always kind of knew where the answer was as long as you just reloaded yourself. Mini games, man.
Nuts, man. The Red Dead one was so fun. So
it's
going back to
poker.
what I was saying,
Yeah.
people just when the world's that big, there's so much to do.
What can you
could just
do?
go out hunting, finding special beasts. You could just go fishing. You could literally just go out into the mountains and pull up with your tent and just fucking chill there, sleep, take a few days, relax. You know,
It is
you
a
could-
weird. I always thought it was weird about Zelda when there's like, "Hey, you want to go sleep?" Like, no, dude. Like, I'm exploring. Like, no, I don't wanna go
Unless
sleep.
it's raining and it's nighttime, then I'll sleep.
And you have like nothing else. Like, you don't have any gear to just like.
I don't want to fucking deal with it. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
I
it's a
teleport.
vibe, but then I gotta take off all my fucking shit because I'll get
I
electrocuted.
teleport. I'm like, whatever.
Just
I'm
go to a
out.
different
I'm
environment,
out. I'll go to the
a
depths.
different climate.
It's like you're gonna slow me down here. No, I'm good. I'll leave a marker. Like, boom. I'll
many-
come back right to this marker.
How many shrines have you done?
Oh, that's a great question, dude. I don't know. I haven't counted.
I've done over 20, I think now.
I'm up there. I love the shrines.
Much
The
better,
music.
much better than the first game, than Breath of the Wild. Yeah, very interesting with all the new abilities, so much you can do. And the cool thing is with the abilities, you can almost approach the shrine in different ways.
Completely.
And that's really
Oh,
fun
yeah.
too, because that's kind of like, I mean, if we're thinking about it, that's basically their mini game version.
It is
Are
their
the
minigames,
shrines?
yeah.
It's like, okay,
But you
here's
wanna
a
do
puzzle
them.
you have to solve. We give you a heart reward, which is or not
No,
a
you
heart,
get the,
but
yeah.
one of the four, whatever the fuck they're called, so that you can get heart or stamina. By the way, I haven't done stamina once. All hearts. Wow. Because I know in Breath of the Wild, the Master Sword, you need hearts. So
Oh, what a.
So
Damn,
I'm
I
like,
slacked.
if they, I
slacked. Okay,
swear to
good
fuck,
move.
I
Good move.
swear to
Good
God,
move.
if I did all this and then I go find the Master Sword
Yeah.
and it's actually stamina this time, they flipped it, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. All
you didn't
20
read about that?
shrines
No.
just for I'd be so pissed. That's something they would do.
That
though.
would be cool. Yeah, because it's like, ha ha ha.
Got
You thought
you.
it was Breath of the Wild, idiot. You were not thinking this through.
So like a few, more than 5.
Oh, I got a lot. I got like probably like 7 hearts, and like my stamina's also up. So I evened it out.
That's
on
the mistake I
things.
made in Breath of the Wild.
Well, that's what you think.
Because I want the Master Sword. I like
know.
having a sword that never breaks.
I got the
hate
Master
looting
Sword
for the
just
same
before
shit.
finishing the game.
Say it again.
I've got the Master Sword just before finishing the game.
I remember.
And then I go like, this would have been so legit off the bat to have this ultimate weapon that just never does it shatter?
It does, but it has a
It
cooldown.
regenerator.
It has a cooldown.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine as long as it
Yeah.
doesn't like you lose it forever.
No, no.
I would just
That's why I'm going for all my hearts, get that shit early, and then I have it for the whole game.
yeah.
You don't want to wait till the end when
Yeah.
you stop playing the game and then you have the OP weapon.
I definitely for one thing I've been doing with the shrine. Yeah, for sure, getting the shrines to do those things, having fun with the shrines, exploring what the shrines teach you, because that's also really cool. Because you've been playing the game your own means and ways of understanding it, but then sometimes the shrines teach you like this is the ideal way to do this. I found this one really I don't know if you've seen it. This really cool thing that looks like a spike, it looks like a nail. And big massive thing. And so I'm like, oh dude, there's like a chest on this rock and I can't climb it. There's no way to climb this thing for some reason. And so I'm right next to a shrine. But I said, fuck the shrine. I'm gonna get this chest first.
Yeah.
So but I see all these elements I can pick up. So I just like start putting things together. I'm like, oh I can't angle it, I can't climb it, I can't do anything. And then I see this thing, but I notice that it goes like it just sinks into like the ground. And I'm like, oh, that's so weird. Why would it sink to the ground? Like, what's the point of that? That's stupid. And I put it sideways, and I put it on a log, and then it sinks into the wall, into the stone thing that I can't climb. But because I created a platform, I can elevate into the log that's now attached to the wall. And I'm like, that was awesome. I'm like, what a weird thing. And I open up the chest. I'm like, yeah, I got a sword. Let's go into the shrine. And the shrine teaches me what I was doing.
That happened to me too.
But that was so cool.
That happened to me too.
I love it.
I do think that system isn't set up that well though with the shrines and what it teaches you. Because there are certain areas that you'll get to in the map where you get to a shrine and it teaches you something. It's like, bro, like I needed to know that 20 hours ago.
Yeah. That would have been better.
I had to figure that out on my own. So if you're an experienced player,
Yeah.
I think you know, at least this has been my approach, that rather than just learning the game through the environment, you go to the shrines and it'll teach you how to play the game.
Right.
And at the same time, then you get the hearts or the stamina. Or else by the time you get to a shrine, you're like, fuck, bro. Like I could have used that 30 hours ago.
That's true. I blew myself up. I saw this rocket. And I'm like, okay, the rocket makes sense. And then it was a flamethrower. I'm like, that makes sense. And there was
Yeah.
this weird thing that looked like a flamethrower, but it didn't do anything that I know of. I don't know. Maybe it does something. And then these 2 little marble things. And so I go like, what does this marble thing do? So I hit everything to make sure I see what it can kind of do. So the one thing I didn't get, I'm like, it just like went up right. And I'm like, what the okay, nothing else, whatever. And so I see the marble things and I hit them. And then they go bing, 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 bing. I'm like, oh, it's a bomb. And I start booking it and I dodge it, but it blows up and I died. I'm like, yeah, now I don't know what it's for. Do I attach it to a shield and blow up with it? Like,
Yeah.
Kamikaze.
I've been liking putting the rockets on my shield.
Sick.
And then engaging it and just flying up. That's been dope. I've cut through a lot of shrines
Doing
like that.
the carts on your shield.
The carts? What do you
Seen
mean?
that?
No.
Put a cart on your shield. And you're just gonna coast,
skateboarding.
bro.
Skateboarding,
You can
right?
grind.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can grind
I've
with
seen
them.
that.
That's sick.
I love
It's like your free ride.
I love doing that on the shields in Breath of the Wild, but I feel like in this game the shields are breaking faster.
I heard it was infinite. If you have one shield that has a cart.
Yeah,
It will
I'm
never
saying
shatter.
just shield.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably what they just like chose to do. Like, okay, let's not use it on shields anymore. It's gonna break easily. Now that we have this new mechanic with the zone eye abilities, why don't we just put a card that you can do it, and then you have an infinite skateboard.
There's this really cool thing I put on my shield. I have a couple things on my shield, but one of my favorite ones was the bounce thing, little spring, right? And you put that on the shield, and so when I go to perform the shield surf tech like move, I'm actually bouncing up in the air, and so I like gets up high. I'm like, that's my move. So I'm like in my inventory, I go This shield is for when I'm in really bad situations where everybody's around me. I'm like, bounce, fly away. Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what I've noticed too is that you can't take out your Zonai devices in the shrines.
No, can't.
Which is kind of annoying. Because sometimes I'm like, oh man, I fucking wish I had another fan. We're gonna just drop it right there. I don't know why they limit you to that. Maybe because they don't want you to break every shrine you
all your
do.
abilities?
No, I have 2 slots open. So I don't have the camera
It's fun.
and I don't have whatever the other thing is.
It's fun.
You have it.
Yeah.
Where is it?
You got to get the camera first, and then you're gonna get the other ability after the next.
So the camera's just going back and talking to the chick, right? The Pura pad girl.
Pura tells you to do a task for her. You do it for her, and then the other one is kind of the same concept. It's still relatively within the same people you got to talk to.
Okay, so I just
It's
gotta
not
go.
too hard. It's
I
not
just
too
gotta
hard.
go back there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun. It's worth it.
I'm gonna do that
trust me,
next.
when you get that last ability, you're gonna be like, yo.
Am I gonna wish I got it sooner?
Maybe.
Is it gonna save me?
Have
like,
you been grabbing a lot of inventory?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna wish you had it.
Which reminds me, I need to spend my fucking Korok seeds to get my inventory space.
Please.
Whether-
What is wrong with you?
I have like 40 already, probably.
I found this area that you just have to like break rock nonstop. It's almost like
No.
a caved in zone.
And it gives you them.
And so imagine I only had like 4 things in my inventory. I'm just like shatter,
Yeah.
shatter, shatter.
It's killing
Now
me.
I gotta go find an element that will help me break these things apart.
What does help is though being able to put like a stone at the end of your spear.
So that's
Now
what I'm saying.
when you loot, it's so much
every
better.
single time you break these boulders,
Yeah.
it gives you the stone. So yeah, if you had inventory
Right.
of an infinite amount of weapons
Yeah.
to attach to the stone, you'd break right through.
Yeah.
So I went halfway through the dungeon or whatever it is, and then I'm like, I lost all my weapons. So I had to leave, and I just said, I'm not gonna stop. I'm committed to whatever they're telling me to do.
Yeah.
Found more weapons, like 8 more. Went back down, attached rocks to all the weapons. Boom, 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 boom. Like Vanessa, my wife is probably like, all I'm hearing is, tsh, tsh, tsh. I'm like, yeah, I'm on a mission, all right? I'm trying to get something. Imagine I do all that. It's like a chest. Open it, 10 rupees.
That's happened to me a few times. It fucking pisses me off, bro. They're just trolling us when they do that.
I love it.
Have you gone up to the Hyrule Castle and done some of
I
the
saw
looting
you
there?
do it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it.
You don't want it?
I do.
You saw
want
what
it.
I got.
I do want it. I know I saw what you got.
So for anyone that doesn't know,
yeah.
you get the blue.
Tunic.
What do you call it?
It's not a tunic, right? Tunic's
No,
a
yeah,
hat,
I think it's a blue tunic. It's called the Champion's Leathers or something like
Champion
that, but it's the
something, yeah,
blue
yeah.
shirt
Yep.
from
Yeah,
Breath
I
of the
got it.
Wild. You get it
Yeah.
up in Hyrule Castle.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, there's some good stuff that you can find there. I still haven't found the Hylian shield. There's a bunch of stuff.
I got a
still
kit
gotta
that I really
find.
like right now.
Yeah,
I'll show it to you later. if you
yeah,
wanna
show
see
it to me.
but
No, I
it's-
got to show
it's
you a
so
few things
legit.
I have too.
I'm like, that looks clean. It costs. Actually, that didn't cost a lot. That was like a really cool side mission just to get that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There's been a few side missions that have led me to like just my clothing going to a certain cave, which by the way is new too. I love the caves.
Oh, the caves are crazy.
And I love that you get a little check mark after you do it so that I know which caves that
Wait
I've
a
been
minute.
to and
What?
stuff like that. Yeah.
I didn't know you get a check mark.
Yeah, when you complete it because it helps you know because every time you go into the caves, you want to shoot that fucking blue panda frog looking thing.
Yeah.
That gives you the
Yeah.
little things. So if you never find it, but you think you've gone through the cave and you go out, you don't get the check marks. You're like, oh shit, I forgot to get him, or he's somewhere else that I didn't know existed, which has been nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, does it go beep? Like, is there a noise
No.
that happens that tells you
No.
got to check mark, or is it on your map?
On the mini map.
Oh, okay.
And
So
I've
then I
still
have
been
these-
playing on pro mode, by the way. I went back to it.
You are
no
insane,
HUD,
dude.
It's amazing.
So I was walking. My friends came over yesterday. I live in the city of East Boston, and we're taking them to the waterfront, and they keep asking us questions. They're like, "Yo, we're like, where are we? Like, where is this?" Or and I was like, "Yeah, this is kind of wild, right?" Like the concept. As
Yeah.
we start walking back, I took them another way. And they're like, "Why are you making us walk so much?" It's like, to be honest, we're returning to our house, and this is actually the shortest route. But it's new to you. You don't know where you
Right.
are. And then instantly, I don't know, maybe I've been playing too much Zelda, but I go into my mind and I go like, dude, imagine if I didn't have a mini map and this is new to me. Like, to me, this would be like, where am I going? This is insane. You're
Yeah.
just taking me aimlessly somewhere. But when you look at a map, you feel more comfort of knowing, well, I actually am going in the direction that I need to go. It's not like I'm just getting lost and going to Dorchester out of nowhere.
Right.
Like, no, we're going home. And so that's why I love the map. You playing without a map is just like, you can't even leave like cookie crumbs, bro. Like, how do you know? Like,
I just
oh,
open up
I
my
already been
menu
here.
and I look at my map. That's it.
Have you ever just looked at your map and be like, I just made a full circle?
No, because now I've been in the habit of making fucking sure I'm going the right way. Because if I'm not going to have that mini
Well, how
map,
do you do
I'm
that?
fucked.
How do you make sure? How do you know you're doing
Because
that?
you know when you're on your mini map, or not your mini map, when you open
your
up the
map.
menu and you go to the map, depending on what angle you're looking at, the arrow changes. So I just know, okay, make sure my arrow is in line, open the map again, make sure I'm headed to where I want to go, and then I just walk that direction.
Man, good for you.
Just one time this week,
Just try it.
just try for like
Alright, I'll
15
try it,
minutes
I'll try it.
and think about how fucking immersed you get.
give it an effort.
And it also helps you memorize the controls better because there's no guidance. So you're like, fuck, I got to remember. Almost like limits you to the point where you'll learn
I'm gonna look at
faster.
the interface. I don't know if the interface tells you what to do anyway with the buttons. I don't recall.
Well,
doing
you
that.
you can see the menu. Like if you press left D-pad, it shows you. It'll open up your
Oh,
sword.
you're right. You're right.
Shows
yeah.
that. You'll see your hearts. You'll see the mini map. You'll see. I think it shows you the quick menu too for your abilities. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does help you quite a bit, but especially down in the depths when I just want to see how dark it is.
The depths,
you
man.
shut off the HUD and you're fucking inside that game. It's like
That's-
VR, bro.
By the way, so that's what happened to me. I'm looking for those like root shrines, and I'm like, all right, so I'm leaving my markers of the little, light bulbs.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
And then as I'm going and going and going, I'm in an area where my map just doesn't show me my mini map doesn't show me anything. I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally in blackness, darkness, just nothing. There's no indicator telling me where I'm at. And then eventually I see like these little things. I'm like, oh, that's attracting me. I go to it. I see like fire, da da da. And then as I turn the corner, still chasing this little trail that I see, that I'm like, oh, it's gonna take me somewhere. I'm like, wait a minute, those are the bulbs I just shot. Like earlier, like
Yeah.
an hour ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm going in a circle. Like this is no. And I'm looking at. Then I look at the big map, and I'm like, I made no progress going further out.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like it's terrifying.
How long
to
did
do
it
that,
take
but-
you to find out that that's how you light up the area? Like you
Oh, I mean,
remembered.
you and I played with it.
Yeah.
Because you learn it
Yeah,
in the
that's
Sky
how I
Island.
remembered.
Yeah.
But I can imagine people being like, "How the fuck do I see?"
If you didn't do that in the Sky, there's so many things. If you didn't do a lot of things in the Sky Island and you just chose to just gun it,
Yeah, it's true.
that's crazy.
It's true. There's a lot of stuff that'll help you with like elixirs up there. It's easy to find stuff for like cold temperature up there.
Elevate.
There's zonai stuff up there.
Hey Armand, edit the fact of me just saying elevate or whatever in the first stream that you
Oh,
did.
yeah, yeah,
'Cause I'm
yeah.
just like elevate, no, elevate here, elevate there. You're
Every
like, dude,
time
why do
I'm
you wanna
walking
elevate?
around the map and I'm near caves, I just hear you in my head. Just go up, go up. So now I'm like, oh yeah, shit, that just saved me like an hour.
Hey, if you're gonna get to a point, I don't think you've hit this point because I don't know if you're an elevate. What's your favorite element or command?
That's a good fucking question.
Elevate's mine. That's the reason I'm asking this question.
Nah, that's probably not my favorite. Probably just the ultra hand, to be honest.
Ultra hand,
because
yeah.
I use it the most. The
Consistent,
time
yeah.
one is nice for like when I'm trying to do like crazy stuff or like like trying to fly certain places with the freaking glider and stuff like that. But I just find myself using the ultra hand the most.
Got
So
it.
I would say
Elevate's mine. And there's
that's
a
the
mission,
coolest. I just don't use it as much.
There's a mission where it's the only way to progress.
Oh yeah.
And you don't know it. You do not
that's the thing,
know
too.
it. You're just like, what it...
Depending on where you are in the map, you're using certain abilities more and
Right.
more and more. So I might
Right.
be in a place where I don't really have to use that one as much, so I don't get to take advantage
I do it
of
in the
it.
caves all the time. Once I'm done in the cave,
Straight up.
like, what's up there?
Yeah.
And I just go.
I got to think about it more.
I love like when you're there though. I was really nervous doing it, but when you're up there and you're like Looney Tune, like, huh?
Yeah.
Everything is frozen around you. So if you were to go up and you're like, oh my god, there's like all these silver like goblins around me, dude. Like, Nope.
I will say that when I was down in the depths going through Goron City, there was a part that I could go up, and I did, and I ended up in like this, in the middle of this 3-person, like the villains, the ones with all the red outfit. I forget what they're called, and they're just looking at me like, "Hello." And if you go up there, it initiates a mini boss fight.
Oh hell
I was like,
no,
"Fuck!"
dude.
I didn't mean to do that.
Bye.
Yeah, I literally quit the game. I was like, "I'm not doing this right now." Let me ask you, bro. Looking forward to the rest of the game that you're playing, Tears of the Kingdom, the more hours you're going to put in, and thinking about the future of Zelda, also considering that they might do a movie now, right? Because Mario Brothers worked so well. There are rumors I saw on Twitter this week that they might be doing a movie. Like, how do you see the state and the future of this franchise and Zelda games and movies?
Zelda's it's eternal.
Yeah,
It's eternal. Everybody knows all the jingles. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom have only made it more symphonically beautiful. The same old jingles from the first time Zelda was ever a thing.
yeah.
It's gonna keep going, man. It's just a question. This is my thing. I don't know where they're gonna go with it because I don't think it serves that game justice, that series, the title Zelda justice to just keep giving us the same thing.
Yeah.
It's got to be completely different visuals.
Yeah.
Their stories are always different. So like there is no fear that they're not going to give us a banging story. All their stories are just good. But it's got to be something else. And I'm really happy they gave us dungeons in caves because that's what the original Zeldas had.
Right.
And it's really cool and crisp to see it in a Breath of the Wild aesthetic. But how can you do this in another way? I don't know. Can we get boats?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Can we get shit and then do the Wind Waker again kind of thing? But don't give me in the same visual of a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
No, I think it'll be less land-based. And just going off of what you're saying, my hopes for the future is I think we're at a point with this IP, with this franchise, where it's time to make it the universe larger. And I know that's not really Nintendo's thing, right? Each iteration is new and independent on its own. Mm-hmm. But their audience is so large now that I want them to start connecting things. Why not? Why can't you build out this universe, have the stories be interconnected, not just... You know, if you look really deep, there's certain ways that they can connect and they hint at each other. No, like, let's build a storyline. Let's build, you know, even if the story is that Link is trapped in this constant reincarnation, like, let's make that the obvious vocalized storyline. Like, let's move forward. I don't think looking down 20 years down the line, just continuing to do it just a little bit different and a little bit environment with a little animation style difference is going to continue to be refreshing. Like, I want them to start having building blocks on the story and the gameplay.
I'm 100% with that. I think Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom too, because there's hints that they really bring things up to it. And the kits that you get like special kits. There's a Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I mean, now
I don't know if they have it in Tears of the Kingdom,
has
but I
been
know they had
happening,
it.
right? With these two games. Now they're starting to build something.
Right.
I just hope this next one doesn't now restart it again. And we're back to...
I wouldn't mind if they did.
Really?
Only reason is because there's room for us to create stories that kind of create a multiverse which connects everything together.
Right.
And there's also cool stories, just like comics, where it's a story on its own.
Yeah.
It doesn't connect to anything else. A Superman comic without a Batman world is a Superman story. But then when you have a Justice League, and it's a Superman story within the world of the Justice Leagues and the Batmans. Okay, that's cool. We're giving the nod. We're all here together. Great. Which Batman is it? You know, like, is it the Adam West Batman? Is it Nolan? Or who is it? You know, is it is it the Arkham Batman? It has its lanes. And that's kind of like what I really like about having a Justice League movie, the Batman movies, a potentially new Batman. I don't know if they're going to create a new Batman, but they're thinking about doing a Robin story.
They're going to.
And is that Robin a part of the Pattinson Batman?
Right.
Because he seems too young to have a Robin yet. or is it a Justice League thing? Like they had a potential, but Zack Snyder's gone.
Yeah, I think
there's so many questions.
We've talked about this before, and you are coming from like, the old-fashioned way of building like a universe in things, allowing each to, be considered within its individual story. But I think with Marvel and with Star Wars, I want them to start like connecting this shit and making it work together, especially if they're going to be going into film. Like that's a real opportunity to now bring your audience to a new scale and start interconnecting things. It's just a great opportunity. If they're going to do a movie now, Mario showed that it's possible, that it can be done, that people care, the audience is large enough, and you're going to get those sales, and money talks, man. So they're going to do it, and I hope that, that film universe can continue moving forward, but that it connects to the games and we can get something built up. Because I just finished playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and that game is introducing things that are going to come out in the shows,
the universe of Star Wars,
in the live-action movies. And that format...
But they're forced.
It's still young.
They're forced to. It's called Star Wars blank.
Yeah, but there have been plenty of Star Wars games that are non-canon, and have nothing to do with the greater universe.
That's because nobody... it's the same thing with the books, though, that came out after the original Star Wars movies.
Right.
They made novels, like books this big.
Right. But the evolution of media, like the opportunity now with the gaming audience you have, it's time to start building on those things.
My biggest... Anime does this good. Anime makes a show, right? Seasons.
Yeah.
Push. Then they make movies.
Yeah.
Then they make video games.
Yep.
Then they have
that's the
comics.
format.
But they know what they're doing because their characters will never change or develop more than what we kind of know them to be. And people don't care. They're like, that's fine with me. Like it's like
but they do develop.
We have an Adam West Batman. Yeah. We have a Michael Keaton Batman. We have a Christian Bale Batman.
But for example,
those are like redevelopments, reimaginations of a character.
But if you think about Dragon Ball, right? Dragon Ball came from a manga, Dragon Ball manga, Dragon Ball Z manga, Dragon Ball Super manga, all turned into shows, then turned into movies, and it's the character still progressing forward and just having all these media outlets or whatever you want to call them, different formats of delivering the content from written to visual to video game and having them all connect. And I think with the growth of gaming, it being the number one industry in the world, media industry, above film, like it's time to but really see how big this platform is and how it can
if they go this route, which is cool, it's fine. I'm fine with it. Making a movie, my biggest fear is either the movie's going to be way too short for the story, which is going to cool. That's great. That creates a new business of making more movies.
Yeah.
But then the game, it's maybe a continuation of the movie. Then does that lengthen the story? Does it shorten the story in the video game? Because no one's buying a 5-hour-long video game anymore. This is crazy to think that there's a game that's short now.
It's crazy.
Every game you buy, like, as a brand new PS5 owner, I've been buying all these games that have been on sale. When am I going to finish these games? Because each game I get, you got to give it 25 hours minimum, and you're not even going to get 50% of the story.
I've said this so many times. I'm someone that prefers short games.
Yeah.
I like 10 hours or less.
Yeah, right.
10 hours or less, even like a nice 6 to 8 hour banger, because I'm different. I play for the story. You're the side mission guy. You like that shit too, but you're still complaining about it. So I know that you like both.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, I prefer under 10 all the time. Like 60-hour games for me sometimes are like 95% of the time are a hassle for me. Like I don't want to have to invest 100 hours every time because I like picking up new games.
Right.
So, but
that's what I'm getting at is Zelda, if it's going to do a movie, personally, I would want it to be its own world movie, and then the game creates its own thing, because my fear is if they give us a 3-hour Zelda movie, which would be epic, they
never
can't fail this. But how are you going to, at the same time when that movie's being produced, you're producing a story on a video game that's going to give us 500 hours worth of a story. You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus, that would be insane. Imagine if the film turned into a game and then that game was just broader and bigger, like you said, 500 hours. It's possible.
wild.
All I'm saying is that there's opportunity here to intertwine all these different mediums
Totally.
and to really capitalize on your audience. So I hope gaming continues to grow in that way.
Totally.
Before we dip, any last, or what's your final rating, if you have one, currently, compared to Breath of the Wild? Where does it stand? Scale 1 to 10, if you can give it to me.
It's got my attention. Full on.
Yeah.
I'm not touching anything else. I think I need to like unsubscribe from like, because I'm subscribed to the Nintendo online membership. I might just cancel that and just
Right,
keep
because you
playing
have
this,
N64.
'cause, like, I'm not playing anything.
Yeah.
I'm only playing this game.
That's true.
PlayStation also. It's kind of like just collecting dust.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is 9.5.
Wow.
9. Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
Between 9.5.
Yeah,
Between there.
9.5 Breath of the Wild, just because like it was new.
Right.
It brought me into the world of a sandbox,
Yes.
concept. And this is a bigger sandbox. The mechanics just haven't really always caught my attention, so it's a 9. But I'm sure once I get the story going, because the boss fights really, man, I might go 9.5 again.
Yeah.
That one single boss fight I did, that took me. I was screaming.
But do you, what's the comparison and rating from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom? What's Breath of the Wild for you?
I think it was a 9.5. That was
And Tears of the Kingdom would be the same?
Yeah, I think so too. Now I brought it down because I'm like the mechanics were still bad, and that's not good.
Yeah.
If you're gonna give me a copycat, but with differences, why are you giving me still mechanics that make me make the wrong moves all the time? That was irritating.
I don't think it's fair to give Tears of the Kingdom yet a higher rating than Breath of the Wild.
Ooh, yeah.
I know that it's capitalizing on a lot of the good things, but it's building so much on top of what was already created that it just, you have to give more to the one that originated it and brought all of this to life. So I'm with you, though.
The rating should also come. This is grain of salt grading because I haven't really made a dent on the story, man.
Yeah.
The story
Me neither.
Because I did get the whole Zelda, she's right there. Like, I still get those, and you got that different way.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like, wait, but where is she? Like, what? And there's so many question marks. So those question marks are always the thing where I'm like, hey, stop chasing Korok seeds and go find fucking Zelda, dude.
Yeah.
And I think once I find her and it gets to the end, I really just, it's just, that's when the rating's going to solidify it from just I'm only exploring rating to the story, the gameplay.
The story is what could take it to the next level. For me
game.
too.
I mean,
for me too.
Was it a 10 or not? And is it going to be a game of the year at the end of the year? You got to. I think those are the folks that have already beat the game. But with morals, with justice, like giving the game justice and not just going speed running to the end. Like no. Like give those folks that really were hardcore fans to play the game through and give it a rating. They'll tell you the truth rather than just somebody who just whatever.
Yeah. All right, bro.
Man.
Thanks for
awesome.
the chat, my dude. I appreciate you.
And all the time, brother.
Love you, man.
Love you too.
We'll have to connect potentially when we both beat the game to really get like a final conclusion conversation.
Keep nudging at me to actually do the story.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
No, we can do it in 5 years. It's okay.
2 pegs in
Thank
5
you
years, guys.
Make sure you like the video. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Peace.